Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Actually just got done watching what we're about to watch together. Welcome to Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 1 watch party. And I'm going to be 100% honest. There are some moments in this 52 minutes that I could have done without. When we get to them, you'll see. 3 years. 3 years to get to this episode. Hey, well, welcome to our watch party. Happy last moments of Thursday. Wish we were doing this on a Sunday night, but I guess HBO wants it differently. Clint's backstage. I'll be bringing him on. Snip my fan, double ducking. Yeah. And by the way, after watching this episode, I'm not sure it's a good idea to attach Peacemaker directly to Superman. You can take a family safely to Superman. Superman's a cartoon. For better or for worse, it's a cartoon. Peacemaker's not. Let's just leave it there. So tomorrow afternoon, we are going to be doing the last of our fundraising streams as far as the PayPal thing that we were doing before Comic-Con. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be doing I'll be having Larry Cartarts with me, and we will be doing Warfare and Civil War. And I have one more slot left. My proposal is still up there. That is to do Wicked and Mystery Men. Mystery Men being an absolutely abysmal film that I can barely sit through, but I will do it for you guys. Half of those funds will go to AFSP. The other half will go into the upkeep of the channel, programming, StreamYard, things like that. So our goal is 200 to do that because, like I said, my suffering having to sit through Mystery Men ever again in my life is worth that alone. So there's your link. It's tied to the top of the chat. And yeah, oof. I had several moments of oof during this episode of Peacemaker. One particular scene in particular that, like I'm saying, you got to warn a guy when you're going to show that. All right? Come on. I don't need to see that. Hello, Belle. Hello, Glimmer. I sent you a link, Ray, if you want to join in. Hello, everybody's got it. If we've all established that we pretty much have HBO Max, right? Because I didn't do a Twitch thing. Because just judging from Man of Steel, I think we all have. Yeah, hit the like button. Talati, if you want to come on, let me know. I'll send you a link. No. there are movies that are not cartoonish whatsoever. We just, like I said, this was the reason why I showed Man of Steel and not Peacemaker, Man of Steel and James Gunn Superman side by side. One is cartoonish, one is not. So not all the Batman was not cartoonish. There are a lot, but the majority of comic movies are not cartoonish. Let's see. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, because I need somebody to, like, help me through this stream. And then there's some other moments in there. One of them, I kind of thought it was a cop out, but I just, I'm like, okay, sure. All right, hold on, Taladia. Taladia's is the easiest logo to find. And there you go. All right, I'm gonna bring in co-host, Patreon guest.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Oh, Jesus Christ. I couldn't see it up close while he was backstage, but now when it popped up on the screen,
Clint always has one for the occasion.
That's actually pretty hilarious.
That is, yeah.
And Aaron, who's just spinning in the circle there for a second, and Taladia, what's going on?
Taladia, sis, what's up?
Okay, people, Brad really isn't as creepy as he comes off. Just give him time. He'll grow on you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, what the fuck is that?
Amy.
Night me.
Do you have birds, Aaron?
No, Aaron.
No. I don't.
Okay, that was scary. It sounded like some crocodile coming up on somebody.
Well, you've already got in the chat some commentary. I don't know if I want to watch this episode on. What have you seen?
Yeah, I think she said she saw it.
Yeah, she's seen it. Yeah, she's seen the first.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you outright. This episode is not for everybody. This episode is content-wise, like I said before at the beginning of this. I don't know after tonight if Peacemaker can be Peacemaker and be connected to something with crypto in it.
Yeah, this will be my first viewing of it, but I mean, I've had a few things, I don't know if revealed is the right word after that.
Well, if you can't stay off the internet. It's really hard because people fuck it up for you.
Well, one thing, I think I know what you're talking about, the cop-out thing, and then the other thing is, the non-crypto, family-friendly, not compatible thing. Bell says, not a fan, definitely. But silver lining. So
I have a quick question before we start the hilarity of Peacemaker. In the Aliens, those robot kids, do their brains ever actually age, or is that just speculation?
No, their brains start at the point that they were transitioned over and then in the experience that they gain in real time is how their growth. So that's it. They are with the physical form that you see them in is the physical form that they will stay in forever.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the physical form. I'm talking about the brain function.
Exactly. Their brain functions will evolve into the infrastructure that is built for them. That's why they get them as kids, so that they can grow into that brain that they have. So they're not fully capable of using the brains that they have right now. They'll grow into them. That's why he used kids. That's why he did not use adults and transition them over. That's why he had to use children, because a normal human brain would not be able to just cross over like that. So they have real functioning brains, but they're still sense. I hope that answers your question.
How's it going, Anthony? You're welcome aboard if you want to.
That's a good point. He would have fit in a particular scene. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Hold on, let me send ACS the link if he wants to. I don't know how to feel about this episode. It's a good episode, but is it a good episode for everything else that they're doing, or is it just because it goes back? They have some strong points that go back to what made the last season, at least the latter half of the last season, strong for me. Because remember, I almost gave up on this on this series. The first couple episodes just weren't worth my time, and then it kind of melded itself into something that that I could actually watch, and then it evolved from there. This episode, the good parts about this episode harken back to that. The parts that I could do without sort of harken back to that too. So I don't know. All right, is everybody ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I wish I'd known that before I sent the fucking link. Anyway. All right, yeah, let's watch Alien Earth instead. Yeah, you know what? There you go.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Talati.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, so I'm right at.
I'm at the video game, the stupid video game thing.
I'm at Superman breaking the chains at the DCC is logo.
It's not going to matter. It's really not going to matter with this episode if you're caught up or not, to be honest with you.
So why don't we just watch it on a Sunday night? It'll still be there.
Yeah, but at that point, we want to kind of jump on while the iron hot.
All right, episode number 1, The Ties That Grind. Hold on for a second. Hold on. I don't have video. Hold on. I'm going to have to start over. I'll have to get a timestamp from you guys.
All right.
I mean, not really, but yeah. HBO Max is giving me audio but no video. Where are you at, Talati?
I'm at 1 minute exactly.
I'm talking about a recap of previously in the DCU.
Okay. Oh, which was that ends up being what the fuck? Hold on, I'm gonna have to completely get out of HBO Max. Yeah, that whole previously in the DCU thing was. I'll have some thoughts about that later on in the week, I guess, or maybe in the year. Who knows?
You want to come aboard, Rhea?
She said she doesn't want.
If you can't.
I mean, she can. I sent her a link.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm going to be a little bit behind you guys, but like I said, I've already watched it, so I'm not too far behind.
Well, I mean, since we're coming up to it, what are your thoughts on the cameo of a gang that appears?
Well, for the people who haven't watched it yet, I was going to wait.
It's all over social media now.
Okay, not hold on.
Spoiler.
Not everybody lives on the internet, so
No, there's people know.
You can't assume that for our audience.
The fuck I can't.
No, you can't. That's disrespectful to the audience.
Hashtag Brad the spoiler.
I mean, literally.
Bullshit. This thing is. I mean, you can't go on social media now.
Yes, you can. If you're not internet or
you
social
can't go on the
media
internet at all. The only way you're not seeing this now if you just unplug for a whole day.
Okay, and a lot of people do that.
Brad, I have no clue about this show at all, and I'm on the internet all the time.
I think you're just BSing me, just to trying to call me a spoiler.
No, Brad. I don't. Why would I BS you? It's not important.
Anyway, just let this show run out, and then we'll address them as they come
out. Looking forward. Well, maybe I should bring that up later on because it is kind of funny.
I have seen this bunch of the trolls are out.
Oh, man, I am this far away from blocking their names.
I just laugh at them. I knew that as soon as I saw that scene. I'm like, the anti-Snyder shithead community was going to do. They never let me down. That's one thing the anti-Snyder shithead community never lets me down. I could time my clock. I could make a schedule on exactly when and what they do. It's hilarious. And I just left them. I just scrolled right past them. I thought it was hilarious.
You know what? You know they remind me of those Meghan Markle fans.
You know what they kind of remind me of, actually? They remind me of like monkeys on keyboards.
All right, we've given them more time than I should have. Let's move on.
I did get a laugh at this in the trailer, though, when this alien dude just kind of walks through the doorway and just walks out. I was like, okay, well, fuck you too, buddy. How old is John Cena now? He's like about 47.
48.
49. Yeah.
Well, because I mean, I remember like his first like jump out of pro wrestling was the Marine back in 2006.
That wasn't even out of that. He was still wrestling then.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Well, he still is now. Yeah, but that was like, that persona was so far in the opposite direction of Peacemaker. I mean, he was like basically kind of trying to embody Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando.
I gave that movie 13 minutes exactly.
It's stupid, but it's like for just like a slugfest. By the way, also Robert Patrick is the villain in it, so a little bit of full circle. But it's just as like a basic like explosion, punch him up, action fest. It's like it's enjoyable.
Most of those WWE movies are trash, especially the Marines ones, because what's his face did one too. The Miz did one. They're all stupid.
The John Cena-less sequels. I should be giving that a look, because I actually interviewed the director of a couple of them. James Nunn actually is his name. Yeah, I think already we're like doing the whole multiverse portal stuff. You know who John Cena's starting to look like to me now, and I don't mean intend to be disparaging when I say this. He looks like a really jacked up version of Jim Varney to me now. I was gonna say he looks like he looks like he's like roided Jim Varney. Like
Nobody
Ernest.
Does anybody know who that is? If you're not dating yourself, if you're not 90,
Yeah, who the hell is Jim Varney?
Ernest, Ernest P. Worrell. Know what I mean? I'm not being disparaging when I say that. It's kind of like I just noticed that.
Everybody right now is Googling who the fuck Jim Varney is.
No, people know who Ernest is. The Ernest movies are very popular.
We're past the recap for.
Right now, I'm at the dance intro.
Okay, so you're hosting your own stream then. All right.
I think Frank Grillo was kind of in one interview. He was a little bit disparaging of his own dancing ability here.
Well, he hypes it up as if he was the best dancer. I think he was obviously joking, but I don't like this opening versus the last one.
I could do without either one of them.
Well, the first one was epic. This one was just trying to match that, and it just didn't do it for me.
The last two episodes of Strange New Worlds are really good. The other ones are kind of meh.
All right, I'm at the beginning of the dance episode.
Yeah, just wrapped up for me.
I'm at the dance.
Yeah. I don't know what Brad's doing.
See? Backing me up there, man.
Who's backing you up?
Anthony.
Well, he's 92. So, like I said, I'm talking about the majority of our audience is going to be like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, this is definitely filmed in Atlanta. I recognize so much of this. Not like this neighborhood, but
All right, we're at 8:51. Where are you at, dude?
I am at 10:17.
Jesus
I
Christ.
can rewind if you want me to.
You might be so that way when you hit certain scenes, you're not fucking it up for everybody.
All right, I'm at the very okay. I'm right when the dance ended. Went back there.
Go to 907. Because there's going to be some, especially for you have not watching it, there's going to be some shit you need to experience in real time. There's going to be some
Williams trying to control Brad the spoiler.
I can't. How can I spoil it? But this is my first time seeing it.
Well, if you're a few 2 minutes ahead, you can fuck it up for people who are in sync with us. Yeah, this dance routine wasn't as good as the last one.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, since you're the ear of the internet and you know who the second assistant cast caterer is in all the movies,
Rhea, the recap helped because I didn't watch season 1.
Yeah, that dance was very lame.
You didn't watch season 1, but you watched season.
Very lame.
I wouldn't have, that recap wouldn't have done enough for me. I'd have been
Well,
like, what?
again, there's one big thing that's altered about the recap too.
I love that the girls into Alternate Rock.
I did not set it up on Twitch tonight.
Yeah, we're just playing HBO Max right now, man.
Yeah, that was in the recap. That was kind of, like I said, kind of lame. But then again, I don't know what they're planning on, how they're planning on explaining everything else. So I will hold out judgment for that until the end of this season.
Hold on, judgment on what? Oh, the thing Ford said.
Yeah, because it was in the
Yeah,
it was in the recap. The
Yeah,
recap was kind of useless.
Well, that's the thing that again the aforementioned haters of another filmmaker just dove on that like white on rice when this dropped.
Yeah. I want to figure out a way to get them off my timeline because some of these people, I don't know why. I'm not the Twitter expert, but why do these people's comments end up on my timeline? I'm like, I don't care about your opinion about anybody's movies. But because I can mute certain words, I mean, do I have to mute everything just to keep these people just from they're like bugs? No, we did not. We did not skip.
They feel like bots to me. Some of them.
Most of them are. Fourth, we did not skip the recap. I played all the way through.
Yeah, we just went through the recap, man. You know what's really ironic about that too is that John Cena in interviews, and not only that, but also like a lot of the philanthropic. John Cena seems like a really good dude. He seems like a really awesome.
He is.
Make a Wish. He's like the leading
he's a
Make-A-Wish
really awesome dude. So he wouldn't troll anybody over Cape shit.
He never really he explained it in detail, but really, I don't care. It didn't ruin my night. Like I said, I got more of amusement from the shitheads than I did from that particular part of it.
What's the timestamp with you guys?
I am at where am I at? 13:28.
I'm at 13.
Okay. Well, thank you.
13:20 now, but just pretty much at this part where he's in there with the Justice Gang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I got to do something to control my algorithm because if people pop up on my timeline with opinions, I mean, I'm like, okay, great. Why are you here?
Claudia, did you see this episode before you started today?
No.
Okay, it's your
I,
first time.
yeah, it's my first time, but I'm probably gonna have to watch the rest of the episodes on my own.
Yeah, probably. I'll do that a lot with like when we do watch parties. I'll like watch it again just independently
Yeah.
if I hadn't seen it prior.
Yeah, he mentioned that when he first rolled out his slate.
Yep.
You know what this scene reminds me of?
What's that?
The scene where they were trying to find a new hero in Mystery Men.
I am the waffler. With my griddle of justice, I bash the enemy.
I mean, if there's any show you're going to mention an abysmal failure of a movie, I guess Peacemaker would be it because it's sort of along the
PMS
same
Avenger, I
lines.
only work 4 days a month. Does that work for you guys?
I am Pencil Man, and I'm the son of Pencil
Oh, the
Man.
pencil head. Like we were scribe.
I can confirm 2 of the 30 people that saw the movie are on this stream.
And they have the two Wonder Women. Remember the 2 Wonder Women? Like they show up and they start beating each other up.
They-
The fuck up about Mystery Men while we're watching this.
I want that Blue Raja origin movie, man.
Okay, somebody's in the old school chat sound.
Yeah.
From like 1999. Is that you, Talati?
No.
Yeah. He just pulled a Batman there. Peacemaker just pulled a Batman.
By the way, deceiver does not mean friend.
Thank you for the clarification, Talati. Correct.
White Bunny. Oh yeah, there's this whole Cracker Barrel thing going on now.
Of which I completely ignored. I saw it somewhere, and I'm like, okay, the next dumb trend. Skip. Well, his father probably has the Confederate flag up. A lot of digs at 30 Seconds to Mars in this episode, by the way. Poor Jared Leto.
Yeah, they're not. They don't. Leto and Gunn are not cool. Easiest way to put it. Wow, she really did a number on that dash.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Yeah, the guy's a weirdo, but
Wow, and this universe is connected to Superman. Nice.
Yeah. And you have a
there
height.
you go.
I have a what?
All right.
I have a height of femininity. I don't. Did you type? You mistype or something, man? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
I mean, this escalated so quickly while I was watching it earlier. I'm like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Oh dear God.
there you go. I need a warning. I need a heads up. You know how the little corner says flashing lights might cause you seizures and gives you like a little heads up of what's going on. So and so. I needed a sausage warning. I'm sorry. I mean, this what the fuck? Where's Crypto?
Yeah, this
There's like way too much frontal going on here. I'm sorry.
I guess technically we did get a Superman cameo, but he's alluded to like a proper kind of like Superman cameo or crossover. I hope they don't bring like the under 18 audience.
This is
from
the
the
one.
movie into
Okay,
this.
we've got the orgy out of the way. That's it for season 2. There went our
That was
the G rating of the
shit
show.
from like that you will see from the boys. This is disgusting to connect this to
Yeah,
crypto,
yeah.
which was marketed to kids. This
I
is
had
like,
to-
that, no, I don't
Listen,
get it.
that
I think it's disgusting, and I think Taladia agrees with me.
Yeah, that's a bit
There's
disgusting.
a time and a place for an orgy. I don't know if it
Well,
was
yeah,
the middle of this
yeah.
episode.
Again,
I don't know.
I'm not prudish, but I mean, you can't just like take a hard right turn. Well, bad choice of
Okay.
words, I suppose.
Right, Rhea, there are warnings, and then there's nothing in Peacemaker that indicated that
He just
Wow.
threw us right in the deep end, like just said, just
Like-
sink or swim.
like things went bad with Harcourt, and then like blam, we're doing lines, we're doing blow with an orgy.
Well, yeah, it's. We definitely don't need to hashtag release the gun cut of this because he definitely made what he wanted to make.
Oh, God.
yeah, he needed to get away.
Luckily, I skipped that bit.
Oh, come on, no, we got to go back. We got to go back and make sure Taladia sees it.
No.
I'm like, it went from 0 to like 100, like been back down again. I hope they do more with Vigilante because I think there's a character there to explore. His best when he got locked up in prison and screwed up their mission, that was his best part 3 years ago.
The thing is, right? How are parents going to tell their children who just told Superman, listen,
You can't watch this.
Joe and Joanne, you can't watch this show. Why, Daddy? Why, Mummy? It's connected
you could
to
tell them
Superman.
easily, because you don't need to watch this show to get Superman. You could skip Peacemaker and it's for now. If you've seen Peacemaker and you've seen Superman, it's different going from adult but you could completely skip this.
But Mummy, Daddy, Crypto could be in it. Crypto could be in it, and I love Crypto.
You got to parent your kids.
Maybe you could like just show them like the clip. I mean, God forbid the clip notes. The recap has the orgy in it in the next episode. But
like I said, you just go to the part in HBO Max where it puts in the code so that your kids have the code to watch the certain show.
Oh, and it's still going on. It's back.
Oh yeah, it goes on for a bit.
I need to shut the blinds.
Oh no. $28 minutes, fourth.
So, to kind of give the cliff notes of how this DC universe has started, we've gotten a really zany cartoon show a Superman movie that's pretty lighthearted and a extremely R-rated Peacemaker show. That's how this holding Enterprise kicked off.
None of them need to go together for you to enjoy the universe, though. So he at least is smart enough to do it that way.
This is very discombobulated, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, here he's finding the dimensional gateways. I actually thought this design of it was kind of cool. Where it almost looked like the inside of a computer.
Yeah, like a bunch of hard drives.
Yeah, it looks like the inside of like a modem.
They've definitely upped the music in this. They're using a lot more soundtrack that they did last year.
The story. I bet this is where he runs into the other version of himself.
There are some moments in this episode that are really kind of cool.
Now I really wish I had gotten the screeners before this would have properly prepared me for the orgy. Although even then I would have been watching it alone, and then when we would watch it alone, like reported matches are like, dude, that took a real crazy turn.
I was confused, like was it kind of. Oh no, she.
And see, now I'm kind of scared of the last because they've only released screeners of the first 5 episodes, and he's
what did we did not skip to it? What did we skip in? Or they skipped something in the recap? I didn't think they skipped anything in the recap. That's later on in the episode.
This is like now I'm like really thinking like the last 3 they're withholding the last 3 episodes from like press screeners, so nobody's gonna see it till they're actually dropped in human access. Now I'm worried there might be like a mega orgy or something that just comes out of nowhere.
Nah, that just means that they have people. There's story plot lines that they don't want to get spoiled already.
Oh, we got Bloodhaven name dropped.
So this is where it starts to get. It actually starts to get some weight to this episode. That's
Bloodhaven. That's where Dick Grayson.
Yeah, Nightwing.
In Gotham.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who did not watch last season, or it's been 3 years, his brother dying and him accidentally killing his brother changed the trajectory of his life and his relationship with his father. And here's in this universe, his brother is alive, grown, and obviously his father's still alive. And right now he's feeling all that. I never got to grow up with my brother. I missed it. I'll have to watch it again.
Might have been
how's that a spoiler, bro? That's his brother. He called him by his name.
Yeah, it might have been one of those like newspaper clippings.
Okay, then get on the right timestamp, dude. We are at.
I'm at 33:22.
Yeah, that's where we're at. I wish. Is there a way, guys? You are better at YouTubing than I am. Is there a way to put when we're doing watch parties a timer on our screen? I guess because I may have to just get a screen with a timer on it. That way, everybody who's watching can know where we're at. I'm gonna see if I can do that. Oh yeah, okay, got you. There was an abandoned toy store. Got you. No, we started it. I had to catch up. Once the Ladia said go, you guys went. I just caught up to you. That's actually kind of mean.
Well,
Here, Brad. There's your raid reference. I didn't have to. You didn't even have to do it.
Oh, what I missed it. What was the raid reference?
There's people fighting.
There's lots of movies that happens.
This is really violent.
I think we're gonna get like sex scenes throughout the season.
Everything is on the table for this season, apparently.
See, this is the part where Aaron goes in there and like kicks all those guys' asses because what they just did there.
She did a lot more damage to them than she did. They did her.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah,
she
that,
took a
that
bottle
was
and got.
freaking awesome.
She
I
RoboCop.
think she might have killed a few guys.
Well, she got one. I mean, she RoboCop that one guy with a broken bottle.
And she's smiling at the end of it. Yeah. Hell, in Creature Commandos, it took him 2 episodes to bang the one chick.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like an animated version of the orgy.
This whole season is kind of like mirrors the first season, where like it was always saying they live these awful lives and they just want something better. And now he sees how things could have been, and it's just like he just hates himself now.
Yeah, kind of like Barry was thinking. We'll save it his mother idea. He's going Steven Seagal. No, that was a better fight scene than Seagal has done in like 30 years. Seagal wishes he could do a fight scene that great these days. That had been a Seagal movie. He would just like sit at the bar, like just chugging down a 6-pack and like, okay, I'll get up a deal with you guys when I can pencil in my schedule.
Oh my god.
All right, let's sync up at 40 minutes and 10 seconds.
I'm a Rocketeer on him.
Oh,
I figure if I gave the first season 4 episodes to me to grab on, this one's a lot better start. It's got a lot of ground to cover, though. I'll give it that.
Ooh, that was a clever way to win.
fatality. Brutal.
That sucks
Is there
about
a promo for the
Val the
next one?
Count. This is a good version of him that was everything he wanted to be, and he just killed him.
Well, he just had a gun to his head too.
That too. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, circumstances suck. All right, so that was. There is a little preview screen that you guys can go to, but you can get that on YouTube. We don't need to cover that here because there's a lot. The credits are really long. All right, so I'll go first. solid start. I mean, obviously there's some over the top shit but it's Peacemaker. So
That's
um,
another statement.
I
Man.
mean, you remember the very first episode? He's banging the chick. Remember the one that tried to kill him, and that was kind of raunchy.
Yeah, so it's like he said, okay,
If,
I got to like amplify that by 100. And
I mean, but if you're watching, like I said, if you're watching Peacemaker, then yeah. I mean, aside from that, though, just like the last season, there's a lot of goofy and just raunchy shit, but there's still the basis of a story there that ended up bringing it back to where it needed to be, and it starts here. See, we're at episode 1 in season 2, where it took me 4 episodes to get with the first season. Because the whole point of him, like I said, everything in his life got fucked up the day his brother died. And then now to see somebody living that life and he sees what could have been, who wants to go back to his life, and that's what the whole season is going to be like, is like, I failed here and there's no redeeming what I've become here, but there's these other universes that I can be something else. Unfortunately, he just killed, a version of himself inadvertently, but I'm pretty sure the rest of these characters are going to have counterparts that they're going to have to come to terms with in helping get him. And then you have Frank Grillo's character, having to come to terms. And this is probably where they didn't go in Creature Commandos, where he's going to have to come to terms. And I'm pretty sure somewhere in the 8 or 9 episodes of this you're going to get a heartfelt moment with Flag, because he probably jumped from one thing to the other to not have to stop and feel the death of his son. And at some point, I'm thinking that's going to happen in this series, the way they set it up. So good start. Like I said, there's some of the stuff I could have done without. The whole retconning with the Justice Gang thing, that doesn't bother me as much, because if you set the basis, that's not necessarily what they're establishing.
Well, and see, that actually unfolded a lot more quickly than I was expecting. I mean, it's just really like it's in the recap.
They just got it out of the way, and they're like, okay,
it's
cool.
and I still with this, between this and the Pocket Universe stuff, Superman, and the fact that he's withholding the last 3 episodes from until they drop. Not even the press. He says not even his publicist is going to see those. So it's like, yeah, I think they're definitely going to have a lot of fun with these 100 alternate realities. But
hold on, just the fact that those are established, James Gunn never has to touch the Cavill universe again. Someone else can do it down the line. The fact that once you say I have 100 universes, a bunch of different possibilities, he personally never has to touch it during his tenure. To be honest with you, and that's his way out.
Well, it seems like he didn't blow it up either. So.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. To me, I'm like, you know what? I years down the line, somebody can be like, well, you know what? We established that there's 100 different universes here, and here's Earth 99. Here you go. I don't need this to happen now. I don't need this to happen on top of what I'm watching in Peacemaker. There's a possibility, and that's we can leave it at that. So that part didn't bother me as much as it might have bothered some people. Like I said, I was more amused at the responses from the shitheads than I was the actual scene itself. I got more of a laugh out of them.
Yeah. Where's this one that gets 4? Yeah, here it is. We got 99 Pocket versus 981. Hop on TCW, son.
You know what? When you and him are both awful at the same time, I wonder. I need to see the little dials and stuff where the viewership goes up or down.
I'm not a rap guy clearly, but I did see this.
Really? I would have never guessed that, Brad.
Well, Brad, I gotta ask you. Right? This is something I gotta ask Brad. Right?
Cool, man.
It would have been advice. It would have been better if you said, "Oh, there's gonna be a scene with."
Oh my goodness! My amp is gone wild.
Yeah, that was Aaron.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I was gonna say is it would have been nice if you said, "Oh, by the way, there's gonna be a scene which you're gonna have to skip over, so I don't have to worry about that again."
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like it's trying to be snipped into TikTok's reaction memes.
Yeah, there'll be TikToks and reaction memes for sure.
For what?
For some of the scenes.
Oh,
yeah. Hopefully not one in particular.
Well, no, you'll get kicked off the internet. How you doing, Iran?
So, but yeah, that again, again, now that we watched it, the swap out the Justice League cameo in season 1, and now the Justice Gang cameo in the recap leading into season 2. And that really, I was expecting that to be more of like a full scene, and again, it was just like really just here it is, it's gone.
Well, when he said he was, when he said he was gonna, that gets explained. I'm like, I remember when he said that, and everybody's, trying to like make it into, maybe this big thing, and I was like, be careful because it could be nothing. And it
I don't
ends up
even
being
think this
nothing.
doesn't strike me as like explaining. It's just like it's just there basically.
He basically explained that he only did Hawk Girl and Green Lantern scene, and did with CGI magic. That was it.
And there's Supergirl there. And you know what? Like I said, maybe universe number 49 is the one that where he meets the Justice League we know of. Who knows? But like I said, I don't need to have that answered right now. You know what I mean? I just don't need to. I like Gunn's small character stuff. I have no use for the Superman. That's fair. I think, to be honest with you, if I'm objectively speaking, when it comes to character development, as far as the starting point of a character, the evolution of a character, and where a character is at any given time during that character's run, I think he does the best development of he's up there. He's up there in the upper atmosphere of people who can make you care about any character that they put on the screen. Now, with Superman, it doesn't have that much effect on me. Kind of, because it's a movie with a lot of things going on, and that's not its goal. But the TV shows, even in Suicide Squad, I think he did a better job of making me care about what goes on. Well, at least for some of them. I cared what went on with Ratcatcher. I cared, towards the end what went on with Polka Dot Man. I actually cared what went on with John Cena because of the inner conflict of following orders and trying to be something that he's made himself into being. And then some of those characters came over into Peacemaker. So I think he's really good at that. Now his Superman is different, but once again, Superman's going to be the hardest character he's ever going to have to take on because he's not taking on a character he can develop. He's taking on an idea that's been developed over 8 decades. So that's going to be a tough one for him. But as far as like shows like this, like I said, it took him a while first season. This season he jumped right off. The conflict that Peacemaker is going through now. It opens up the whole show is that even after they saved the world from an alien invasion, they are still pieces of shit. They still have low self-esteem. They still have issues about themselves. They are nowhere near where they want to be in life. And now here's an out. So they got me hooked. All right, Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a better start, I think, than the first episode of season 1 because season 1 was definitely had was very kind of up and down for me, and yeah, and then you add in like the alternate reality side of it and the fact that it's kind of tying into the idea of like parallel alternate realities kind of represent like this is where I think my life could have gone if I made different choices. So it's like thematically, it's I think starting off on stronger footing. So I think it's off to a better start in season 1, I would say.
Yeah, and here's the thing: when these shows, you take away the capes, the masks, the toilet bowl heads, and helmets, and all that kind of that stuff that they have in there. And with any good movie, even if it's a science mixed movie, no matter what the genre is, when they start posing questions and situations that the average viewer can relate to, like that, who hasn't sat back and looked at their lives and at least questioned the kind of decisions that they made? What if they'd have done this? This is what it would have turned. What if this person hadn't died? What if this person hadn't got sick? What if this person hadn't left, or my parents hadn't divorced, or this person? Everybody, whether outwardly or introvertly, has sat down and had at least some level of that conversation with themselves. So you take away all the goofiness. That's where they're at. And like I said, even with Suicide Squad and this, there's a whole bunch of people, no matter any walk of life success that you've had, has gotten to the point where are they happy where they are at now? Was there some key decision, or was it you did this for 10, 15 years, you were at this job and it was great, and you look now and you're old and you're at a job you don't like, you're doing something that you don't feel good about, and you want a redo, you want a start over. And that's what last season was about. People living these shitty lives, and now they get a chance to be the heroes that they thought they envisioned themselves being and save the world. And like I said, that's relatable to just regular people. So that's where James Gunn does well when he has the time to do so. Clint, what did you think about the episode? Are you on a plane?
Yeah. Are you still there,
Okay,
Clint?
you might be in mid-flight, so I'm going to come back to you. Taladia.
I thought the episode was okay. I did not like the orgy thing at all. I'm scarred by that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be scarred by that for the rest of the night now. Um, but other than that, everything else was cool. Towards the ending of the episode, I felt that it was really cool action scene, and I love seeing the fatality. The fatality
Yes.
of
I thought that was tragic because, like I said, by all accounts, that guy lived his life right. Now he was a hothead and could have. And if you're a peacemaker, you should be like, maybe there's some kind of explanation here. Maybe I step back and not, But then they both reacted. The situation got out of control. That's another thing. How many times has the situation got out of control to where you look back at it and you're like, oh shit. So yeah, I that part
No.
it escalated. It escalated real quick for me.
and William Fly. No, not in a good way. In a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Listen. I mean, hey. Once again, where it got me is like we're having this conversation with
Just the
hardcore.
suddenness of it.
And like I said,
Yeah.
there's no buildup. There's no he's walking up to a place that says orgy. Nothing like that. It just goes, wham, I'm getting the bong, I'm doing lines, and then from there it just goes fucking crazy. And I'm like,
Yeah, it would have been
oh,
even
shit.
that would have been like he just walks up like orgy, like follow this sign for orgy. Even that
Yeah, thank God I wasn't like some. I used to watch these things at the store while I was doing stuff, and I'm like, oh shit. Could you imagine me watching Peacemaker? Well, first of all, I wouldn't be doing that while the store was open. But just imagine if I was dumb enough to do that, and then here, like, oh, hey, turn around. But yeah, it was it escalated real quick. But I was like, whoa, because when I was watching it before, I'm like, okay, he's gonna go to a bar, meet a chick, boom, but nope, he meets several chicks.
And Daniel's asking, I missed the Peacemaker discussion. Was the insertion of Justice Gang in place of Justice League well done or haphazard?
Well done for what it was, for what he was trying to accomplish.
Because it wasn't even like the full scene like from season one. It was just
him dropping.
It was a flat, yeah. So it's the brevity of it makes it kind of hard to say. And also, I mean, it like does that play any further into the season? It's like it's kind of hard to say well done or haphazard.
That's why the jury is out. That's why the jury is out, because we could have an episode 8 or 9 or however this goes where he just keeps reliving that scene, and it's like a whole bunch of different groups of superheroes just dropping down out of the shadows. It's Plastic Man.
Yeah, that'd be
it's fucking the Wonder Twins. It's fucking the elongated. I mean, you could just keep having
like
that.
The Arrowverse Justice League shows up and like
then I'll turn it. But then you could just have like that like there's a particular juncture. This is my suspension. There's this particular juncture where it's like the nexus of all realities in Marvel, where you can get to anything you need to. So. But like I said, the possibilities are endless, whenever you go into something like that. But I'm okay with not knowing. Like I said, I like being surprised. Not the orgy scene. I didn't need that surprise.
No,
but I'm pleasantly surprised,
Are you sure? Just don't want to confuse the audience there when you say.
And that's why I said it's like I was really curious about what is the fact that they're not releasing the last 3 episodes in any press screeners that add a lot of curiosity to it. But now also after that, also a little trepidation. Like, okay, give me surprises in that, but just not of that sort, please.
Film Psychic, FY, and this is for everybody, by the way. Whenever we do a watch party, it is by default going to be spoilers because we're literally watching it and talking about it as it's happened. So for anybody, I should state that from here because that probably might not be clear. Whenever we are doing a watch along of a live episode, we are automatically doing spoilers. So if you guys, I probably should say that before. If you don't want to, it will have it spoiled, then don't watch these until you've had a chance. You can, if you're gonna binge it like you said you were, you can go ahead and binge our watch parties too. That'd be kind of cool. All right, let's see. What's with gun and orgies? Creature Commander. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Hey, man, you know what? Everybody's got their thing,
I mean, with Creature Commandos, it was different. You could get past it, no problem. But this was just on the
This was real. This was, and like I said, it just was there all of a sudden. It was just there all of a sudden. No build-up. Lines, hookah, whatever. The bong, lines, orgy. And within like 10 seconds of each other. And I'm like,
you're like, what the fuck?
Hey, you know what? How did the orgy? Whatever.
And so how did the Peacemaker never find out about the main Peacemaker's door if the doors are so close?
That's a question I was asking myself the whole time. How is that the first time that he maybe he just never went. They just never went further into the that domain to the point where they needed to see it. Maybe at certain points it wasn't open to each other. Oh yeah, he did kind of explain it because Flag explained it. There was a blip. So there's a good chance that this is the first time that these have been open to each other.
And
that blip is probably lined up with Superman. So there you go.
We've seen the blip. Probably, are they going to have a different term for it though? Not confuse it with a different blip.
Yeah, they'll come up with something else. Yeah. Event. Let's call it an event.
Dark Knight. We were getting here to look at what happens to James Gunn's personal home life.
Hey, dude. Hey, nothing against. Hey, man. Listen, orgies are. There's nothing. They're legal. As long as everyone is.
Well, at least close the blinds, dude.
Well, it's legal in some countries, but not in others.
Yeah. Well, hey. But like I said, the scene itself, the over the topness of the scene itself, and what was going on did not bother me. It's just the suddenness of I'm getting back. I'm still thinking about looks like Harcourt and Chris aren't doing so well. Fuck.
Literally.
He went from the cocaine, and the cocaine was on the screen. Then the bong was on the screen, and before my eyes rolled from the snow to the pipe, there was a whole bunch of people doing and they filled the screen. It wasn't just one or two people. Those extras who played those scenes, I commend you because that had to be an awkward scene to see. Hey, how do you guys get together? Hey, what's your name? Well, hey, what scene are you here for? I'm here for the orgy scene. All right, cut. There you go. It just is the way it happened. It was like a shock to the system. It was like orgy scenes, no big deal. I watch Traumas. Come on, but it's just like I said, argument.
You know what? It was like a soft. It was full on pornography. That scene. I'm sorry, but that's what it was.
Hey, HBO Max. This is why. Hey, Wonder Woman. What are we going to be doing with Paradise Lost? Okay, are we going to get something closer to Linda Evans? Or are we going to get something closer to Spartacus Blood and Sand? Because this is Spartacus Blood and Sand. That out Spartacus Blood and Sand. I don't think they ever had that many people in an orgy on that show. And that show was an orgy an episode. It was literally the credits. It was in the end. Lucy Lawless swam. Beginning. It was scheduled nudity on that show.
Okay, but the thing is, you right off the bat with Superman, you market it as a family thing, especially with Crypto with children.
Did he though? I know he marketed Superman. Is he marketing the DCU entirely as family, or is he just targeting certain audiences?
Well, he focused a lot on Crypto and who generates and connects with Crypto.
Yeah,
children.
Yeah, and if there was an orgy in Superman, we would be having the world would be on fire.
The world would be on fire.
Yeah,
I better never hear about another franchise being too dark or not kid friendly again.
Well, you should have never heard about it in the first place. To be honest.
Yeah, but now I really better never hear about it.
But here's the thing, though.
Also, there's certain cultures that won't really want to watch any of this either.
Yeah.
That, like I said, I told you before we hit play. Peacemaker season 3, this is not going to be for everybody. James Gunn in general, just like any director, is not going to be for everybody. It's just this. I mean, I don't know any director for the most part that is. I mean,
and I thought this is like this and the last season, Peacemaker and also Creature Commandos and the Suicide Squad. I would say all that collectively, it kind of makes you wonder like what he wishes he could have done with Guardians.
Well, like I said, you could structure a universe if you're doing this right. I could have Peacemaker doing exactly what we just watched. I could have Superman and those associated characters doing exactly what they want, and even go to younger kids because you know why? I have a marketing department that aims these things with the audience I want to get my rise out of. You have to, if you have a household, the nuclear household, like I always say, you have to take the household approach if you want to survive in 2025. You just can't aim for the kids because mommy and daddy are there too. And when they put you to bed, they don't want to watch kid shit. So if you want DC to be, appeal to the entire household, you are going to have to separately aim, and some things are going to be for mommy and daddy, and some things are going to be for the kids, and not vice versa. The parents can, like I said, my parents My parents monitored me while we were watching all manner of stuff. But if I had ever come in and put my sister in a headlock and put her through a wall or stabbed a kid at school, that would have been the end of that. That's what parenting is. I'm leaving that up to the parents to decide whether they want their kids to watch Peacemaker or not. Because you know what? Those kids can still enjoy the DCU without ever watching a second of Peacemaker or Creature Commandos.
Now with something like that, if a kid comes into your store, right, and wants to buy a Peacemaker comic book, would you ask their parents?
If
Is
the
that
rating,
okay?
depending on what the rating is, because sometimes it'll have a 14 or something like that on it. And if I flip through it, if it's like Black Label, no, I don't sell Black Label. Like Batman Black and White, I'm not, or Batman Damned, I'm not selling that to kids unless their parents are there. If they come in, there's certain things, and I'm old fashioned. Not every store necessarily follows this, but there are certain storylines and certain things that I will not put into a kid's hand that is under the age of 18. I'll say, hey, come back with your parents, come back with a parent or guardian, and that's the way Gary, my old comic store owner did. Once my dad came in the first time and they had a conversation about what was suitable for me and what what we went to the movie scene, my old man never had to come in again. He never had to come again because from that point, my comic store owner knew the guardrails. He knew the rules, and that's what I do. Now, most of the people I get in are tourists, and they come in with their family anyway. So if somebody comes to me, and my comics are taped, so those kind of comics are taped. So if they come in and I'll say, they bring it up to the counter, and I'll hold it up to their parents. I'm like, are you okay with this? And then I'll have them, can I take it? Sometimes they ask, can they take a look at it? I'm like, absolutely. Untape it and let them flip through it, and then they make the decision there. But I'm very wary about and I card you, because sometimes you have some people that don't look the age that they are, and I'll card them. I haven't got a little sign by the registry, I will card them.
Comic Code Authority, yes.
No, it's not necessarily the Comic Code Authority, but I don't want when it comes to minors, I want to give the respect to their parent or guardian to meter the content that their minor child is getting. Once that person turns 18, they're an adult. That's a different story. But you're giving content to a child. You're giving content to a minor without knowing the context of what's okay with that parent. Now, there are a lot of kids that come in, and some of them didn't even have kids when they started shopping. I mean, now their kids are coming to the store. There's an understanding between me and parent A and B to where, is it okay if I sell them this particular issue of Batman? We've already had 100 conversations about that. But if it's just a strange or a kid that I've never met the parent, we're not gonna. I'm gonna be old school about that, because like I said, last thing you want is some parent coming in here, and you've influenced their kid with something like that, So that's the way I do it.
One more from the Dark Knight. Will humor aside, lies establishing the DCU can be very adult, and that gave me a bit more confidence that Batman can be violent, brutally more adult than kid-friendly take. Yeah, and like I said, if he does that, it's like I better never hear any complaints about.
Well, those complaints weren't valid to begin with. Yeah, you should have never been You should have never been listening to those.
Come at me again with those, like
you know why they come at you? Know I think they come at you back because they know they can get to you. So it's like, yeah.
Those complaints better be dead as a damn doornail.
They go as far as you listening to them does. I mean, those comments were never.
You said yourself, it's like you couldn't escape them through their algorithm.
No, but I didn't respond to them. I just skipped right past them. You engage them, I'd say fuck them.
I engage anybody. Damn, God knows I want to do, but I didn't.
Yeah. That last year, if this would have happened last year, you'd have had like a 10-thread piece on there with all the old suspects.
I don't think I don't have more of those in me, man.
Yeah. Not they feed on that shit, dude. All right.
I'm going to mention this as well. Is that, for example, people will say that the whole Rick Law thing. I wasn't a fan of Twilight of the Gods.
Yeah.
So it wasn't made for me.
Yeah, that's definitely very adult. Yeah, it's definitely very
really, really adult.
Yeah.
I mean, for a cartoon.
Yeah.
So like when this did that, and I'm just like, oh my god. So I hope I don't get any more surprises like that
Hey,
the
Peacemaker,
episode.
Yeah.
I cannot promise
in,
you.
in Brad Mind's religion, that'll be like a sin, and yours, haram.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean-
yeah, exactly.
What's
Yeah.
Well,
what's wild?
But keep in mind though, this is on HBO Max.
Yeah, but
You know.
the Twilight of the Gods, though, it's like I don't, but it didn't like. Again, it didn't have the thing where it's like, what we're having this one conversation, like just 2 seconds later, it's like, okay, just everybody get naked.
They did start fucking real quick in that movie or that series, but
Yeah.
that, like I said, that just escalated. I'm like, whoa, okay, shit. Like I said, I'm sitting there watching it.
I really, he starts, he looks up, and it's just okay. Just throw
out
caution
comes
to
the
wind.
cocaine. Out comes the cocaine. Out comes the bong. There comes the orgy.
Off come the
1,
clothes.
2, 3. And except for him, he's just like there, just like whatever. Like he's just trying. But here's the thing about this: as crazy as that scene was, as crazy as that thing was, okay, it was saying something. It was saying something, and what it was saying is that he can surround himself with anybody. He can surround himself with the hottest naked people in the world. He can give himself all the drugs and all the amenity. He can do his best to create an environment. None of that is what he wanted. None of that is what he wanted. All that was phony. All that was bullshit. None of that made him feel better. And he was compensating for what he wasn't getting in that relationship. I think 30 seconds later before everything went to chaos. So as crazy as that scene is, even that scene is saying something very important about the character, is that he can't just manufacture what he needs. So, and now he's going into these other universes, or at least one, to where he's going to try to force himself into a world he doesn't belong in. And the moral of the story is, listen, you got the life you have, everything happens for a reason. And, that's the life he has. Shazam had a room full of doors. Yeah, I don't think that one's connected though. I don't think we're,
Yeah,
I really don't ever think we're going to see
Shazam.
Shazam
Doorways that like take you to other realities. It's kind of like almost like wormholes is kind of more how that works.
I don't know I don't know the definition either. Ray, I don't know what the numerical mathematical definition of
This is
I watched that when I was a kid.
I've seen Revenge of the Nerds, and that's talk about not aging well.
Yeah, you couldn't get away with any of that shit, dude.
Oh,
you
that's
get mad. Get away with it.
Oh, well, those the nerds, the titular nerds, every one of those guys is doing 20 to life.
Yeah, and then just the whole with the camera. I mean, with the camera and the girls arguing. Porky's was just obscene, but that's what you had no expectations of anything else when you went to see Porky's or Porky. I mean, they have what? So how many sequels that movie had? So all right, guys. Well, Aaron, you'll be last up. What did you think of the episode, other than Aaron?
I thought it was shocking.
Yeah,
I was a bit of a shock. I was clutching my pearls.
I think Aaron is beyond disbelief.
Well, I saw her. She's glowing in the dark now, but she was kind of glowing red for a second there. Now, I was watching. I'm like, well, I wonder what I wonder how Aaron's going to go for this.
Had a great fight scene though, didn't it, Aaron?
Yeah, that made up a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and she got the hell beat out of her, and then she was smiling.
Well,
That's another thing.
She got though.
They're all displaying these issues that they have, and this shows about their issues. And then she's gonna. I mean, she doesn't have any self-worth. She doesn't have any self-worth unless she's having violence committed on her or committing violence on others. That's her self-worth. Or in the intelligence community, she has nothing else besides the intelligence community. So now she's compensating. So all these guys are compensating for something, and then you throw in an alternate universe. So, like I said, it has a seeds for a good story. I have the vision that they'll bring in. Do you get that they'll bring in any characters from Arrow? I don't think you're ever going to see Arrowverse in here other than cameos. Those, I'll be honest with you, and I know you guys are going to knock me for my feelings on the CW verse. The bottom line is none of that stuff was big screen. That's great for the small screen. Now you're talking about putting on something any cinematic scales. None of that stuff was, and I don't think other than a cameo or a mention. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Or any others that we know of, probably not.
I think that's what he's asking. Is like he's not asking for like bringing them in like full time into this franchise, but like bring them in like again like
I say I'm gonna give I
Like,
say
like a cameo.
5% chance. 5% chance over and under.
or for the Arrowverse specifically, or just for anybody.
For Arrowverse at all, because it's there's you can bring in other things, but once again, it's James Gunn. That 5% can flip to 95% tomorrow. I mean, he's shown you that. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get out of the business of guessing what that crazy man's going to do next, because
well, you've made your big prediction that he's going to bring Ezra Miller's Flash in at some point.
That's a cameo that I could see, because you're talking about a cinematic Flash. I still think that there's a chance, and there's been nothing to dissuade me of that. Like I said, it's a long shot. All this stuff's a long shot, but I think it would be fun. You know, like I said, I'm not going to lose my mind. I'm not going to go on a hate stream. I can't believe he didn't go what I thought he was going to go with. I just thought something I thought of when I was at the vodka stream, something I threw out there. The amount of people who kind of took it seriously shows you guys where you're at in life.
Well, not took it seriously, but took offense at it, I would say.
Yeah, if you went,
because you got called, the move on.
Yeah, I'm like, I know you move on, guys. You know how I feel about you, so that you're coming in with that already, no matter what I say. I have a different term for you, but we won't use it here because I'm tired of cussing.
And Rhea, I mean, this is not. She's not wrong. I mean, he did hype up the Flash like nobody's business. I mean,
like I said, I really suspect that he is going to lose that version of the Flash.
I mean, that might account for the the Justice Gang switch with the Justice League.
He could love the Smallville stuff and it still not be a match or a fit for what he's doing on this level. Like even HBO Max, the level of production and level of storytelling that you have on any show on HBO Max, and then you try to compare that to anything that was going on CW, it's not fair. It's not fair to either one of them. To be honest with you, you're not being fair. Because even Superman and Lois, if it had been an HBO Max show from the start, you would not have had to escalate the budgets up towards the end. They would have already been there. You would not have been cut. You when you're an HBO Max show, you're an HBO Max show. When you're a CW show, even the best CW show is not gonna come on. It's not gonna be measured up against that's an opinion. But look at the money that's put into them. Look at the advertisement. CW shows don't get advertised. They don't draw money. So stop comparing CW to higher end shit.
Tom Cruise or Stephen King endorsement.
Tom. Why?
He's talking now because they were.
The Flash was a good movie. They should have endorsed that movie. I mean, we forget that The Flash was a good movie because we get caught up in all the bullshit that had nothing to do with the movie itself. We forget that when I walked out of The Flash, I had a good time with The Flash. We entangled it with the other shit that had nothing to do with the movie. So when James Gunn saw it, he should have praised it.
And actually, I mean, because we talked about this before, about doing a watch party of The Flash, and I think we kind of agreed we wanted to, especially with what Peacemaker's doing with the Elseworld side of it, you maybe want to get through Peacemaker first before we did that.
Yeah, let's see what he's doing, because like I said, I'm trying to outguess a crazy man. Daniel, somebody's got another woodpecker. Is that Brad's woodpecker? Or do we have a new woodpecker? Daniel, really the Flash. I like the Flash, so it brings back extra. I would be okay with it. And James Gunn's not going to give a fuck about all the people who had the minuscule people who had a problem with Ezra Miller. Sean Hickman, I hope Lanterns is not like this. Lanterns is not going to be like this.
It's going to have an orgy.
Yeah. Okay. This is what's kind of what I do like about this is, but Guy Gardner is going to be, he's not going to be, it's going to be those two. It's going to be those two. Guy Gardner will be there because obviously he's a Lantern, but he's not a part of the main story. And the thing about when you're talking about the way the DCU is set up is each particular person that signed onto this, you're not signing David Lindelof to do Peacemaker. You're signing Damon Lindelof to do what Damon Lindelof does. So right there, just from the creative point of view, that's who you hired, could give you a good idea of what kind of tone you're going to have. I highly doubt that we're going to see anything that resembles Superman or Peacemaker in Lanterns, even if they are connected. Damon Lindelof is going to do what Damon Lindelof does, or he walks. So there had to have been some agreement in place as the showrunner that he's going to tell his story. So that doesn't worry me at all. That doesn't worry me at all. And as we get different directors on board, you know, the first thing out of their mouth is going to be like, hey, you know, how much freedom do I have? What kind of tone do I have? And if, you know, and if the answer is not what that director wants, they're probably not going to sign the contract. Now, none of these guys are starving for money. You know, Damon Lindelof can get work. He's fine. And whoever's doing the Batman, I had fun with the Flash. Like I said, were there issues? Yeah, but you know, most of them had nothing to do with the movie.
External to the movie itself. Daniel says, I really enjoyed how the Flash dealt with the multiverse spaghetti explanations. Yeah, I agree. I really dug the spaghetti explanation.
Yeah. If you know who's writing it, then that pretty much answers the question of whether this would be like Lanterns. If you know who's writing Lanterns, if you know who's working on Lanterns, then that answers that question about or any fears that Lanterns would be like that, because that particular individual does not do this. You know, so yeah, there you go. You can rest easy there, Sean. I guess the fear is that we won't see the Lanterns in their suits. Oh, why is there a fear? We don't have anything to go on other than them walking down the street in their leather jackets and stuff. We literally have nothing from Lanterns other than Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart walking down the road, and not even a motion, anything. It's just a picture. I think we should relax on what Lanterns can bring us.
Fourth, why would you want that? I don't understand.
Yeah,
I'm not even bringing it up.
He's fourth in us.
Lindelof is going to walk, and Gunn will have an excuse to. I don't think he wants that, though. I never got the sense that that's what he wants. Kevin Feige even doesn't do that to a certain extent. I mean, he sets out his vision, and then he hires, a certain thing. He hires the Russo brothers to do their thing. For better or for worse, he hires Taika Waititi to do his thing. But if you're, otherwise you're doing all the work and you're going to collapse. So nah, I don't have any reservations about Lanterns. I am not worried in the least bit about Lanterns. You hire that particular person, and like I said, he hasn't walked yet, and they've already done filming Lanterns. Lanterns is done; it's in the can. We're just waiting for a release date. And as far as I know, Damon Lindelof is still there. No, I don't think so. I mean, I really don't. I think, and that's why I'm looking forward to Lanterns, because, and here's the thing: if Superman didn't land for me, and I'm not saying that it didn't, I had some fun with it. And Creature Commandos, if nothing Gunn has done directly his appeal to me, there's other aspects of the DC universe that are being written by completely different creatives that have done stuff that does appeal to me. So I'll give that a shot. I don't have to give up on the DCU if I don't like what I saw in Peacemaker, or I don't like what I saw in Creature Commandos, or I didn't like. Yeah. I don't have to give up on the DCU. I can say, hey, you know what? Let's now. If Lanterns did end up like that, then I would be done. But I highly doubt that Lanterns is going to end up like that.
Yeah, I agree with William. If I don't like Peacemaker, then I will say I won't like Peacemaker. But I'm giving it a chance. I'm giving it a chance because I just thought, why not give it a shot, right? I've never saw a Peacemaker before in my life. Give it a shot.
Yeah, Lanterns is done, Ron. Lanterns is done. We're waiting. I think Lanterns is going to be in January or February when that gets released.
Probably early. Yeah, I don't think it's January. We're pretty early next year.
Question: When Blade Runner comes on, are you going to be doing watch parties for that?
Yep. Yes, sirree.
Yep.
Anything Blade Runner. If I'd have had this show up and running, I don't know if we were up and running proper if Blade Runner Black Lotus was around, but you all
then we're doing a watch party of Soldier, the confirmed
Blade Runner
spin-off of Blade Runner.
I really hate having a serious point I'm making, and your dad jokes just come and fuck everything.
Look it up,
but anyway,
screenwriter.
Being serious. Yeah, I will definitely be anything that comes out Blade Runner from this point on, as long as I have a YouTube channel, is going Blade Runner proper, not this stupid shit that people try to connect to it. All right, Daniel Martin Lindelof did even more comic booky. I hate the term. I don't think it's a real term than Snyder with his costuming, so I don't think the fear being warranted. No, I don't. And plus, Damon Lindelof, look at Watchmen. Man, Watchmen is great. The only bad thing about Watchmen is I didn't get more. I didn't get more because I love that series. And I loved Watchmen. I read Watchmen as a kid. I watched the movie as it came out. It's still my favorite Zack Snyder movie. It's still one of my favorite all-time superhero movies. But that show, what he did with that show was amazing. What he did with that show is amazing. If he does a quarter of what he did with Watchmen on Green Lantern, this Green Lantern is going to be great. And like I said, if you guys have an underrated show that you guys may not have watched, Leftovers. Leftovers is a really good show. Watch that one. I can't wait for Glayface, a true DC horror movie. I'm interested in that as well. I'm intrigued. In that. And once again, that's being done by people who don't necessarily do what Peacemaker is known for. That's, I think, is going to be the strength of this franchise, this brand of it, is that there are different ways in. It's not one flavor fits all. There's different ways in for different age groups, and there's different ways in for people who have a different preference. So that's what I think will save it, because there's going to be some shit I don't like with this DCU. There's already been some things I'm like, oh, okay. All right, but there's going to be some things I love. So, that's going to keep me there. Let Kreger do his henchman movie with the Batman saga universe. It depends on whether I'm going to sit that one out. I told you that guy had 2 swings, and I'm going to be around for a strike 3. But Kreger sounds like a guy. It depends on, does he want to do something that is of his own thing, which is where another universe would come in, or does he want to do something that's integrated? That'd be because that guy seems like he needs to dominate his entire atmosphere for his movies. And the 2 movies I've seen, that's all him. I don't know if does he want to fit that into it, James. Yeah, the last season of True Director, I'll defend that to the death. I love Night Country. I think it's the best behind season 1. Seasons 2 and 3 were not bad. They just weren't as good as season 1, and neither one of those were as good as season 4. Jodie Foster deserved everything she got for that one. Let's see. Daniel Martin, I saw Weapons today, loved it, though I was somewhat underwhelmed by the ending, the storytelling tension. Like I said, I'm glad. Listen, another one. I'm glad Weapons. You had fun with Weapons. I was underwhelmed by the pace.
I love Weapons. It's like that's my number 1 for horror so far this year.
Yeah, I when I that non-linear storytelling, and another movie. To be honest with you, Sinners kind of did that, because how Sinners opens up, it's all over.
Yeah. Well, that's more of like a framing thing, though.
Yeah,
it's like ending, then flashback, and then back to where the end ending started. Then have the guitar.
But the thing about what Sinners is, every character on there meant something to me. All right, there weren't characters that could have disappeared off of Sinners and been like, oh, well, fuck, whatever happened to them. There were some characters that I'm watching their arc being like, okay, your ass needed to end up on the cutting room table. Why are you in this movie? But hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Daniel Martin. It just wasn't entirely for me. Like I said, didn't kick the trash can over when I left the cinema, but it was something I could have watched at home, to be honest with you. So I'm glad you okay. I don't know if suck is the word. I'm still thinking, and it's been almost a year since Night Country ended. I'm still thinking about that ending as far as their explanation of how things went was sound. But you spooked me out for 7 or 8 episodes, giving me some supernatural shit, buried in the ice shit, some fucking John Carpenter shit. And then you gave me a Mythbusters explanation. I'm like, no! I want a fucking monster to come out of the goddamn thing with a bunch of faces on it. I could have been more excited about that, but as a show, its entirety, man, that show was just haunting. It was great, and Jodie Foster is great. And this is talking about a 2-time Academy Award winner. She's great in it. I didn't think she could get any better than what I've seen her in some of her top end stuff. Would I rate would I rate this episode out of 10? I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
I would give it an 8, to be honest.
I might, like I said, my ratings changed, but I would say 7 because I really like, once again, carried over the story development. I felt once again, I didn't start giving a shit about season 1 until he found out what was in his file about his brother, and he curled him the ball and started crying and shit. And you started to see him as something other than a buffoon. So I could give it a high 7, maybe an 8. Maybe, you know what? I'll say an 8. Obviously, we know why it can't be a 10 for me.
Yeah, same. You know why?
Google it. Yeah, exactly. All that stuff in the ice, the ancient stuff in the ice with the Indian mythology, all the carvings and stuff, that symbol, the whole series. I was like, oh man, that's going to lead to something. And what it led to was like, okay, not what I would have done. But I didn't feel at the end of True Detective like I felt at the end of Barbarian. I wasn't pissed off about the ending of True Detective. I would have gone in a different direction. But that didn't hurt because they actually landed the show. They actually gave you an explanation. They didn't leave you hanging. The fact is they introduced a bunch of really cool supernatural shit that they just really didn't follow up on. I'm like, but then again, they were telling it from you. They told you the whole show though that they were giving you from all these people were mentally fucked up, and sometimes you were looking at the show from somebody whose brain had been fried. So, full disclosure. Yeah, and they did tease the season 1 thing, but it really didn't need to. It's sad that we love violence and not sex. I mean, some people love both. I mean, you watch James Gunn, you get both. I mean, if you want violence and sex, James Gunn delivers.
Hard to argue.
Yeah, if you were giving him a star rating,
I want to see how closely Peacemaker season 2 ties to Superman as the events. Well, they've already kind of set that up with the whole Lex had the pocket universe device, opening that went haywire, and that's why they're trying to stop Peacemaker in this from opening the same. It's like, oh, that happened. It almost destroyed Metropolis. Now we got to prevent it.
Peacemaker will tie to the DCU. The DCU will not necessarily tie to Peacemaker. So you can go from an adult point of view to everything else, but I don't think you're going to have things that lead you to things like Peacemaker or any other thing that is like, orgy-ish, so there you go. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up because it's Friday now, and I got to go eat, and I got to go do some stuff, make some purchases at the store tomorrow because it's Friday. It's fun. So we will be back same time next Thursday. Yeah, okay.
And we're doing our watch-alongs for Alien Earth and Peacemaker. So we got 2 watch-alongs for 2 ongoing series.
Yeah, so I might join the alien stuff. I might join that instead of joining this. I might watch this on my own.
Yeah, listen, there's nothing wrong with these sex aspects, and I just think if you're going to do sex and violence in a movie, as long as it means something to the story, that to me is like, because these things aren't. If you're doing it without it meaning something to the story, then it's just porn. With this is like a loose story, like the Naughty Librarian bullshit. But if you're telling a story and it fits in the story, then I'm okay with it. If the violence fits in the story, if the fight, all this stuff makes everything, for the most part, even the orgy, as explosive as that was, my biggest issue is how it came about. But like I explained before, that was part of the story. Did you see how all this chaos is going on around him? And then he's fully clothed as a contrast to what's going on behind him. And he's totally mentally detached from that. So even that sex and that nudity had an important part in the contrast of the story. So I don't mind the violence, and I don't mind any aspect of a movie you want to bring me, as long as it's there for the story and not just there. So I'm all right with it. Okie dokie. The spot just showed up. High spot, by spot. Okay, everybody say goodbye. And like I said, I will most likely not be on the air on our show proper tonight. Tomorrow, try to see if I can. If Dave throws me a line, I'll try to get on that show. And then, tomorrow later on this afternoon, we're gonna have our double feature with Larry. Larry, if you're there, let me know if you can't make it, homie, because I'm doing this. These are your two movies, and there's still the slot for the if you guys want to do Mystery Men and Wicked. Two things that just like I said, just two things that could
two things that are awesome that my baby sis loves.
No, and this full disclaimer. This person is of no relation whatsoever.
No, that's like, don't we? Come on,
no,
we don't look alike. Come on,
no.
So I'll say this though, is power to Gunnafuss.
Yes.
Hey, listen, if we can
Always,
get up, if we can get 10 people total in the globe that know what that is, maybe you'll get a chance to see it somewhere. You know. Hey, right now, I think we're at 4, and they're all on the screen. So
Wicked Mystery, love it.
Yeah. Like I said, the link is up. We have to reach that goal. If we don't reach that goal, I am not suffering for anything less than what I put up there. So we will see you guys later on this afternoon. Larry, let me know. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.